Now the next dress that I made was the Antrim Dress by Itch to Stitch. I'd seen Penguin and Pear, Claire from Penguin and Pear made one, and I'd seen a few people making them, and when I saw the actual original picture I thought that was beautiful. You know me, I like purple, and I figured, right, I'm going to make that. And the nice thing about it is she does different bust sizes, so there was no full bust adjustment to make with it. You could do your own bust. Here he is.
Cup.
I haven't got a cup. Oh, I have.
I'm the tea boy.
Tea boy. You'll have caught a glimpse of what I've made. Anyway, it does a full bust adjustment, which I liked, and so I thought I'd make it. And my first attempt was using some Jenny Flake and Year fabric, and it was this one. This was white fabric. I think I showed you it. I had dyed it navy blue, and it was white fabric that she gave me. It was the white tiger type fabric. I didn't like it. Dyed it navy blue. Turned out nice. Not enough fabric though, so I had to do some patchwork on it because I wanted it quite long. I like a long dress, and I quite like this V again. I've got it pinned there. I've never worn this either yet, but I do like it. I made a couple of mistakes on it. I'm always making mistakes. Considering I'm quite an advanced dressmaker, I make a lot of mistakes. I'm sure it's down to old age. Anyway, I made the sleeves longer. I like a 3/4 sleeve, and I think it was because I made the sleeves longer that I didn't have enough fabric. So I had to patch certain things, and the first patch bit that I did was I didn't have enough fabric to go on the shoulders. So I'm not really, I should have made that seam go downwards, but instead I've got it going upwards. Thank you very much, my darling. Oh, he brought the chocolate as well. He likes his chocolate, don't you?
I said, if you had one of those sparkly things, you know, where it goes ching, like that, I could go, and there'd be a big ching go over the chocolate.
I buy the chocolate for
you.
For me, but it's usually you that tells me you want the chocolate, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, you got into a habit of every time I made the last coffee of the day, which is what I've just done. Shall we have a chocolate? Right. So now, when I make the last coffee of the day, I save you all the trouble of
asking me and thinking about it. Yes, so I get my chocolate.
And I do it, and I give you a nice big lump of chocolate.
Is that mine? All that mine?
All of it.
Oh, wow.
Well, I say all of it. It was it's not my normal shape. It's a different shape of chocolate.
Oh, right.
So I wasn't quite sure whether it was too much.
It might be, but I think I'll just go on a diet tomorrow.
Hey, that's all right. You're not falling over the edge of that stool yet, so you're all right.
You cheeky bugger. See you later. Anyway, so I had to add pieces here, and probably I should have made the seam the other way so that it was falling, but I actually thought that might look, even if it falls over, I thought it might look quite a nice accent there. Then I hadn't read the instructions. Well, I don't know if I hadn't read the instructions properly. Let me just check. I'm going to check this. There were two waist panels. One was cut 2 of primary fabric on the fold, and this one was a bit wider, and it said cut 2 of primary fabric on the fold. And the way that I read it, I thought that you had to have the gathered one to the front and the gathered one behind, and then a plain one at the back and a plain one behind. And then here, the way it was gathering, it was just telling you to gather at the sides. And I think because this fabric is cotton jersey, it has a different reaction than polyester jersey. And it was gathered at the sides, but it was just not working here. So in the end I had to put gathers in here and there, and it doesn't look very flattering on here, but it actually fits and looks nicer when it's on. I didn't have enough fabric to make pockets. A lot of people have said make pockets with a different fabric. Could have done black, never thought of that. Was just too keen to get it made and see what it looked like. I like it, I do like it. I think if I did it again, and I've made 2 of these, I'll show you the next one in a minute. If I did it again, I think I wouldn't bother with this gathered part. I think I'd just make it into a band, because I do like the way it hangs. I like the way, I like the whole thing about it. I like the crossover. Again, I've only got that pinned. I've never worn this yet, but I think it will. You know, I do like it when I've put it on. I'll put a little video up after this to show you what it's like when I'm wearing it. It does look nice. Now the other one that I made was some more Jenny Flake fabric, and again, as I say, I think because it's cotton, it doesn't spring back the way that polyester jersey does, and so that there is a lot of weightiness there, which you won't notice on when I'm wearing it. And because my bust's fuller, there's not this bagginess and everything not lying right. It does lie beautifully, and so does the other one. So this is the other one. And same issue I had, it was dragging it down. I've actually put little running stitches up there to gather it together a bit better, because it just wasn't looking right. And I do like this one. This one I put pockets into. I had plenty of fabric here for this, so I've got pockets in it. Other than that, I do like this dress. The only downside to wearing these kind of tops is, and this is something I've had right from when I was a young girl in my 30s and 40s, it was the fashion for wrap overs. There was some patterns like that. You spend all your time looking down to see if you're not exposing yourself like that. So I think most of us tend to end up having to put a little stitch in here just to hold it in place. In fact, I would probably do a little, sew it right down by hand, hidden stitches, so that you can't actually see it, and so it's permanently held in place, so that all you can see is a bit of the cleavage, and possibly even a bit less of the cleavage. When you're old, you don't like to show too much cleavage, but that will be probably like that. I do like this dress. I prefer this one to the blue one. The blue one makes me feel like I like the blue, but I feel it's a bit fuddy-duddy, whereas I think this is very eye-catching. And yes, Jackie, a V-neck is much better than a round neck. So that was the itch to stitch. I do like it. I've got some purple fabric, which is polyester jersey. I might just do that. The nice thing about it is it's quite an open dress in that polyester tends to make, if you're postmenopausal, polyester sometimes makes you sweat a bit more. But the fact that it's got a V-neck there, the fact that it's kind of loose, you're getting movement of air around it, so it's not so bad. So yes, I probably will be making that one again. I did enjoy it. It's a digital PDF printed onto my bank paper, so it doesn't take up too much paper, and the pattern, because it's on bank paper, it wraps up a lot easier into your folders. What am I using at the moment for these PDF papers? I'm using these cellophane packets. They've got what I do is I peel the thing off and fold it inwards, so it's just like a little pocket, and then everything goes in there. And because it's bank paper, because it's a thin paper, and because the cellophane is very thin as well, it doesn't take up as much room. You can see there, that doesn't take up as much room as it would if it was thicker paper. So yes, I do like that one. Hi everybody, it's me again, Micheline from Micheline Makes. I've just got to first of all thank you all for the lovely comments that I get from you. I do try to answer as many as I can, and I've got lots of new subscribers, so thank you very much to the new subscribers. And when I do get some, I do try to, if you've put a little sentence in, or if you've made a comment, I do try my best to reply to you, because you know, you've made the effort of watching my vlog, so I want to make the effort of answering you. At the moment I can do it, but as time goes on I might find it a bit more difficult. But you know, it's lovely to have you all enjoy watching the vlogs. And I don't always say this, but if you want to subscribe, click that button there that says subscribe. And then if you want to be told every time there's a video comes, because if you just subscribe, doesn't necessarily mean they get told about the videos. So click that bell there, and that bell will tell you that I've got a new video out. And so, got some new people and some comments that people have made. You may have noticed sometimes that I tend not to answer some people, and I put a love, you know, I acknowledge some, then there's a gap, and I don't acknowledge that one, and then there's a couple where I do. And the reason why I do that is because those are the ones that I want to answer. So if I'm in the car or whatever and I haven't got time, I then think I'll go back to that one and I'll answer it properly. So that's why there's often a gap. And most of the time I will go back to that later on, but on the odd occasion I get so many comments that I lose them and I don't know where they are. So I have started keeping track of some of the comments, and I want to answer some of them because some of you have asked me certain questions. So I'm going to start with the newest first and go backwards because it makes it easier there. Mrs. Phillips, hi Mrs. Phillips, I don't know your first name, but hi. You have said that you see the same adverts as I'd mentioned about the makeup and the makeup brush. I signed up to Il Maquillage and then changed my mind as I wasn't sure if it was genuine. Also with the brushes, I'll be getting a few. I must be on Instagram too much. Well, I must be on Instagram too much because I'm always getting these certain recommendations. Il Maquillage, what I sometimes do is I often see these adverts on Instagram and I look at what the title is, and then I go and search for it on Google. And when I go on Google, I then sometimes check out and I'll put Il Maquillage review, and it'll somewhere in Google it'll tell me what the review is for Il Maquillage, and it's had so many positive reviews. If I get rubbish ones, then I don't bother with it, but when I get good positive reviews, I know that it's good. The other thing I sometimes do is if somebody tries to sell something on Instagram that I like, I then go and check the price of it in eBay, because sometimes they are saying it's £16 or $16, and then I go and look at it on eBay and I find that the same thing's only $4 or £4. So then I think, right, okay, I'm going to go for that one that's on eBay and not this one that's on Instagram. So that's a way that I do it. I am always often questioning on some things. I think with the Il Maquillage, because I found a good website and because there were lots of reviews, that was what made me go for it. The brush, I think I did the same thing. I think it appeared in the Instagram, but I think they wanted £9 for it. And so I then took the description, copied the description, pasted it in the Google search bar, or in eBay I think it was, and then it came up with that brush, which was about £3, £4, £5. I can't remember. There are some £3 odd, but I think on the below that video that I talk about the brush and the makeup, I've put the links to those two things where you can get them reasonably priced. So yes, I mean you do have to be careful. Right, I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee because he's made me coffee and it's going cold. And whilst I'm happy to drink cold coffee and he goes, ugh, I do prefer it warm. Right, the next one. Angela 10226. Angela, hi Angela. You said that blender, was it actually a brush? Now that was that little brush that I showed you and on the advert. I've got it up in my bedroom and I should really have brought it down to let you see. But it's a very, very soft brush. It's about that size. It's if I can draw it, around about that size, like a credit card size, and you hold it at the top and there's these beautiful bristles at the bottom, and then what I do is I put my cream on there, use the brush like that, just dab it up, and then I do that on my face and it really blends in nicely onto my face. Highly recommend the brush. I have to fathom out how I'm going to clean it, because obviously you don't want to be using it too often without cleaning it, otherwise the bacteria can build up on it. But watch this space because I'll tell you how to use that. I know it's nothing to do with sewing, but you know, we ladies have to try and look nice. Angela continues, I used to wear those things in my hair many years ago, but they were made out of plastic, and if you got that tangled up in your hair, oh my golly, it hurt. Well, the nice thing about this one, the one I've got in today is the one that's like that. The one that I've got in today is the one that's like that, with like a double row one. And if you look on the end of them, they've got these rubber beads, rubber stoppers, and that makes a difference. The rubber stoppers make a difference on your, you know, when you're putting it on your hair. So, like that, pull my fringe through, and you're good to go. Right, then she says, I always wonder when you say about the white on the back of the fabric, if that's a better quality than the ones that don't have it. I see a lot of the ladies posting their fabric like yours, and not one stretches it while wearing the garments that they've made, so you can't so that you can see the white. I think one of the very first vlogs that I did, I made a dress like that, and it was white background, and it was, when it stretched, it obviously stretched over my bust, and I tended to feel a bit conscious of it because the fabric was showing white through where my bust was, and I just didn't like that. So the reason why this fabric is white on the back is because why it's white like that on the back, in fact a lot of them are these days, is because it's printed. There is a Spoonflower, which is American, and I think they've got a branch in England and other countries. It's actually white lycra that's printed, and they only print on the one side obviously, and it doesn't go through to the other side. So there are lots of fabrics like that that are coming out where people have designed their own designs, or they're getting them printed, and this is an actual lycra that's got, as I say, the white on the inside, and yes, it does show. Then the next one was Zamzama DB. That's a lovely name, Zamzama. It sounds really powerful, Zamzama. Anyway, Zamzama, she was saying that she thanked me for the tip on the handheld steamer, and I think she bought well, if you remember, I was telling you about the handheld steamer, and Zamzama DB responded to me, and she said that she was really keen on the handheld steamer. She said, I never knew I needed one till now. So she said, and I think I responded by saying, it's really good if you've got curtains, but obviously these days a lot of people don't have curtains in the house. And she said, I don't have curtains, but find myself wishing I did when it gets really cold. The steamer arrived today and it's fantastic. Really quick and easy to use and saves getting the iron out. If I need to iron a top before wearing it, I love it. Thanks again. Hope you and Brian are having a lovely weekend. Forgot to say last time that the conversation with the cats was extremely entertaining too. She's born to be in front of a camera, that one. Perhaps she needs her own channel. I am debating whether I should have a little channel for these two cats because, especially the little black one, boy is she talkative. And she seems to respond in the, to everything I ask. She tends to respond to. Anyway, while I'm on about you viewers, you may remember, a couple of years ago I did a vlog about a lady who came from America and who wanted to meet up with all of us vloggers, and she was called Lorianne. She lives in Oregon, and she came to England and she travelled around visiting all the vloggers that she wanted to get to know. And we met up with her, His Lordship and I met up with her in York, and we took them to see the cathedral, and then we went for a meal with them. Lovely, lovely couple. We really got on well with them. And the other day, Lorianne messaged to say that Larry had a cardiac arrest and had been more or less declared dead for 30 minutes whilst they were trying to keep his heart going. And she was in a bit of a state. So I'm sure she messaged all of us. I'm sure she messaged all of us, but I responded, and I've been seeing how she's been getting on, and I think he's fine. He's not out of the woods yet, but I'm sure I'd like to send my wishes to you, Lorianne, and those of you who do know Lorianne will be wishing her and her husband, fingers crossed, that everything's okay. And I'm sure there are some of you out there who have had the same experience, or it's scary times, and as we get older we do have scary times, so make the most of it. Anyway, the next question, Aileen Kappenman. Oh, that's a nice name, Aileen Kappenman. Aileen Kappenman. I really enjoy your shopping trips and travel commentary. I just howled with your fanny pack story and your husband's facial expressions. If you haven't seen that story, here's the link to the vlog. It's at the very end, so you don't need to watch the whole lot if you don't really want to, but there's a bit at the back, at the end, where one of my viewers had made mention of a fanny pack, and I asked him what he thinks it is. And she says, I've recently found my birth relatives and found out that I have English, Irish and Scottish heritage. I will probably never be able to travel from the States, Washington State, so keep travelling so that I can enjoy the countryside. Love it. Well, yes, I will probably never ever get to America. I will probably never ever get to Canada or Australia. Let's put it this way, worldwide travel is not really for me. I'm kind of happy to stay where I am, or go locally, go for us to a hop and a skip to France is enough for us. And to be honest, it was funny because when we watch these videos, when we watch things about America, about South America, I did that at A level at school, and we did America and South America, and I always said, oh, I'd love to go to South America. I'd love to see Brazil and Peru and Chile and so on. And we have friends who've gone there to see it, and Lorianne herself went there to Peru. But as I've got older, I'm not really bothered, and I can see. I remember my dad used to say the same thing. He travelled the world when he was younger, and when he used to say, I've got everything on my doorstep, I don't need to go anywhere. I've got my garden, I've got, everything. We've got the beach, we've got the countryside. I don't need to go anywhere. And I'm a bit like that now. So, and we probably will never get the chance to see other countries. But in the same way for Aileen, which I think is Irish, it's an Irish name, it's nice to put these vlogs up to let you see parts of England so that you can see what it's like. There is, those of you, I don't know if you can watch it in America, but there's really good program that we have in England, and it's on usually every Sunday night, and it's called Country File. And they talk about all the different parts of the United Kingdom. They take you to different parts of the United Kingdom, and there's some beautiful, beautiful photography. So well worth watching that if you get the chance to. Then the next one, Angela 10226 again. Hi Angela. She says this was about the t-shirts. How I was saying that I had a pile of ironing and I ended up ironing my t-shirts, and she said, I don't care what it is, if it's wrinkled or creased, I will iron it. Of course that doesn't include undergarments. No, I never iron undergarments. I do like a neat, tidy t-shirt, and the thing that I've got to bear in mind is, you see, not far from here is an army base. It's about 10-12 miles away, an army base, and a lot of our neighbours, we are on an ex-RAF camp, an ex-RAF housing estate, and whilst they aren't RAF, our neighbour she's the hairdresser and he works in the RAF further down the country in Yorkshire, and there are other ones, and they are all very meticulous. And also in hubby's rock band that he's in, whenever they have a gig, the other ones turn out with the most immaculately pressed t-shirts. You never see a crease on them. So I'm a bit I know he looks scruffy, but I keep trying to smarten him up, and I keep thinking, well, if I iron his shirt, t-shirt, it might look a bit nicer, or it might take your eye off the scruffiness here and look at this bit here. So yes, I do iron the t-shirts. And then she mentions about the fanny pack, or the bum bag as we call it. She says, Brian put the pack in front. So when Brian put the pack in front, it made me wonder, where do you all place your bum bags? Well, she says, would it not be placed in the same area of the body for all of us, regardless of what side of the pond you're from? Well, actually, Angela, I think I did reply to you, but it's for all of you to know, we don't wear many bum bags. It's not or fanny packs. We don't. We have the cross bags, we have the haversacks that go on the back. The only time I ever see bum bags is one on the back when somebody's cycling on a racing bike and you're driving past them, you can see this bum bag on their back, or the ones that are in market stalls where they're putting their money and they're collecting the money in the bum bag, and that's at the front. But most of us, I think, if you walked round our town, you would not see. In fact, I probably wouldn't see anybody with a bum bag. We all have haversacks are very popular in the UK, and not just haversacks, backpacks with the double straps, which I've just bought one recently, and I'm not sure if I showed you it, but it's a flowery one. Backpacks with double straps, or crossbody ones where they go across like that, but even then they're not a bum bag type of shape, they're more substantial thing. So they're not as popular as they probably are over in America. So the next question was Seaside Mum said, hi Seaside Mum, you did tell me your name, and oh god, the joys of getting older, I can never remember when people tell me their names. I remember it, I think, was it Linda? Did you say you're Linda? I'm not sure. Anyway, apologies, because my memory recall of names is absolutely abysmal. But I'm not worried. I may be repeating myself here, and this is another thing when you get older, you repeat yourself. I'm not worried, because when I used to teach, I could never remember kids' names. They would come in the new term in September. I'd make a plan of who they were and where they sat, and then I'd always remember the baddies and I'd remember the goodies, but the ones in between, the ones that just kind of got on with their work and didn't really say much, I always forgot their names. And I'd always have to I'd have the baddies at the front, say, right, you sit there, you're not moving from there, I'm keeping an eye on you. And then you say, John, what's that girl called over there? And he'd say, Sarah. Okay, right. Next day, John, what's that girl called over there? Sarah, miss. Right, okay. And then a week later, John, what's that girl called over there? Miss, do you not remember, Miss? I told you it was Sarah. All right, okay, John. So then the week later, John, what's that girl called over there? Miss, you've got the lousiest memory I've ever known, Miss, just called Sarah. I used to get on with the baddies. Anyway, yes, so I'm not, my memory recall for names. Names and numbers are the worst. I think I may have told you as well about the numbers at work when they asked me to make centres for them for the medals. And Debbie would say, Micheline, can you do me 37 medals, 37 centres, please, for the medals? And I would be doing something, and I'd say, all right, yeah, I'll do them in a minute, and I'm doing something else then. And I'd say, was it 34 you wanted, Debbie? No, 37. Okay, right, okay. And then I'd carry on with what I was doing. Then I'd say, Debbie, did you say it was 38? No, 37. Okay, right, and I'd carry on doing what I'm doing. And then she'd say, and then I'd say, what, did you say 35 again? And then both of them would shout, no, 37. I'd say, oh, God, I'll write it down. Anyway, back to what I was talking about, which was, where is she? I've lost her now. Seaside Mom. I sympathise with your bad leg. I too had an accident that damaged my right leg and can only go for a short way before it gives me trouble. Very frustrating when others can go for miles. Yeah, that's the thing. I always feel guilty because I could walk forever. The only thing is, not only do I have a gammy leg on the left side, not only do I have possible broken bone in the foot on the right side and a broken toe from being knocked with a hockey ball when I used to play in the hockey team when I was about 30. I used to play for our town hockey, and I got hit with a ball on my foot and it broke, and my second toe is kind of sticks up like that. And it wasn't bad when I was younger. I didn't go and get it checked out because I thought I just bruised it. But as I've got older and older, it's starting to go higher and higher. So I've got this prominent bone on me second toe, and it's really, it's not uncomfortable, but I just get irritated by it. And plus I've got bunions, which are not from wearing shoes. I've always had bunions, and funnily enough, his lordship's always had bunions as well. So I think they were hereditary, and add to that, I've got flat feet. So what more could I want? I remember I was teaching in a college up in Northumberland, the local college, and they decided to have a fun run, and they convinced me I should go on the fun run. And I said, I cannot run. I can play hockey. I could play hockey. I could do short spurts, you know. And I was always the defence or whatever. And I could do a short spurt and really whack the ball and everything. But when it came to running, I just could not run. Flat feet, terrible. Anyway, they had this fun run. And it was a 5-mile fun run that went from the college right round to the seaside town and back round to the college again. It was supposed to take you about, I think it was about 5 miles, and it should take you about, what, an hour at most? About an hour and a half. They were thinking, right, well, we better put everything away now. We think everybody's home. And at the time, somebody said, no, Micheline's not back. And there I was, struggling to come. And I said, I am never again going to do a fun run. I just cannot run. I can't run for toffee. So I get really frustrated because I want to do this walking, but A, the leg hurts, and B, I always feel like I'm walking in mud. Flat feet makes you feel like you're walking in mud. Then she says, interesting looking around at the clothes in the shop. I saw the shorts, bathing suits, etc. and wondered why they would be carrying them, but then likely they ordered their stock while people could still travel to warmer places in the winter time. We are just coming out of our summer and we are heading into the autumn and winter, and I would imagine that the bathing costumes and the shorts were all bought. They would have been ordered in the November of last year in preparation for our summer. And of course we had lockdown in March. Now our summer was May to September. So I think they, like everybody else, they all got their fingers burnt on clothes. Marks and Spencer's, which is the big company, they got a lot of their fingers burnt. So I think they were just trying to get shot of whatever they could and almost giving them away just to clear the decks. And I'm very doubtful there'll be much next year because obviously there's not well, it depends on if there's a demand for the clothes. And she goes on to mention the Sweet Red Poppy. Do you remember I haven't got them with me now. The 2 masks that Jenny sent me. She says Sweet Red Poppy has a free 3-size mask pattern on her website listed under the heading patterns. I like them the best and it fits my face without having the metal piece. The rest, the tear glasses over the mask and then they won't fog up. And I clean my iron by running the hot dry iron, no steam, over a dryer sheet. I've never done that before. Works like a charm. So those are some good tips. The other thing is, you lot, you know, in these messages to me, you sometimes give me some great tips, and I know a lot of you tend to keep reading them. I do, and you know, when I'm reading somebody else's, I like to see what comments other people have made, and I'm getting some fantastic feedback from you all. Sweet Red Poppy. Actually, Jenny sent me. She'd drawn it out for me and done a copy, but this is what it comes like. And it's a 3D one, and that's really comfortable to wear, and because it's got all the different sizes, it's catering for a big man right down to a smaller child. I think the one that Jenny sent me was the one that was from the black line, and that fitted me nicely. I saw an advert on Instagram, on the little advert section, the other day for a mask that I thought I was quite fascinated by, and I thought, oh, I wonder if we can do it. And it was whenever I see these things, I wonder, I see these things that you can buy, and I think, oh, I wonder if we can make it. I wonder if I can make it. And this was somebody who was selling, I can't remember what, turtle called TURTL. Is it? Let me see. Turtle. I have to see if I can find it. A turtle mask it was called. Well, you went off. I hope I haven't lost you. This mask that I saw on Instagram, it was like a scarf that went round the back, and it fitted on with the Velcro. And down here, you folded it under with Velcro, and then you got the sides and pulled them up there with a magnetic, there was a magnet or something, and it basically covered your face, and these folds came up here. And I thought, ooh, watch this space, I might be able to make one like that, and if I can, then I'll see if I'll show you the pattern. Anyway, the next one, the next comment, if I can find it, was Jennifer Stocks. Hi Jennifer. And she says, I've only just found your channel and I'm catching up, so this is a late comment. The spool holders are called peels in USA. Now the spool holders she was referring to are these. And I'll put a picture up there, and they're called peels, and are used by cross stitchers to hold the excess fabric when using a hoop or a snap frame. You will see them being used a lot if you watch Floss Tube. I bought some for this purpose and they're okay. Some cross stitchers use magnetic cable ties to hold the fabric round the hook. Vicky Monument. Oh, what a nice name, Vicky Monument. She said, thank you for taking us on your holiday. Lovely to see some of England, even the flat parts. What's the board game you're playing? Well, the board game, the first one was called Ticket to Ride. It's an American game, apparently. And Liz brought it. And by the way, poor Liz was working all week. So she had the room on the top floor, and all she did was all day, she got up at 7:30, was working all day, and then came down and joined us in the evening. So she didn't get to see much, but the room that she had a lovely view through the house, across the house roofs to the beach. You could see the beach in the distance, and when I mean in the distance, not here, but right over there. So yeah, she brought the game with her. She had just she'd played it before, I think, but she bought it brand new and she brought it with her. We started playing it and we weren't sure of the rules, so that night we watched a couple of YouTube videos to find out what the game was, and then the next night we played it again and we thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not really into board games, and so I tend to just let them all get on with it. I'm not really bothered. And the second game that we played was probably a bit dated. It was called Logo, and basically you had these cards, and now I don't know if it's available in the USA or another country, in Australia, but this Logo, you get a card that's got a logo, or it talks about a brand, and you get asked questions about it. So for example, they may show you the Mars bar sign, the label of the Mars bar chocolate packet, and you've got to identify it, and they may ask you other questions. Who makes Mars bars? Who does this? What's the ingredients, and so on. So both were good games. Then the next one was Renee Slav. Oh, and hi Renee. Love it. Oh, did I say hello to the other one? Vicky. Oh, I did. Yes, Vicky, I did. Anyway, the next one's Renee Slav. And hi, Renee. Renee. I would say Renee. And she says, oh, wow, how excitement. You get to go out of the house in a car. Wow. Me and hubby need a little trip. We've just been finding things to do at home. We cancelled our family Thanksgiving this year, and we usually have from 18 to 30 family members with us. This year will be so sad with the COVID thing out there. We just felt we had to do it. Will keep us all safe. We have done Thanksgiving for more than 30 years, won't be the same. I adore going on vacation with you. Thank you. Great accommodations. Yes, I think we're all, already His Lordship and I are talking about Christmas, and I've just been talking to my son about it. I think Christmas is not going to exist for us at the moment, because currently you can only see family, one household can only go and meet another household outside, and it's darn cold outside. We are actually going, it's half term week for my grandchildren who are up north, and my granddaughters down south. I can't go and see the ones down south because they live too far away, and the ones up north, we can only visit them, and in fact on both of them we can only see them outside. So I'm not going to drive all that way down to the south of England just to sit outside for an hour with my daughter. Whereas up here we're going to drive up and we're going to meet up with my grandsons outside somewhere. It'll be for an hour and then we'll just head back home. So I think Christmas and Christmas is definitely going to be a no. Oh, you never know, but I'm very doubtful. I just keep telling myself, just be thankful, because if you had been in the Second World War, there would have been 4 Christmases that you would have missed out on, and you wouldn't have had family gatherings the way that you would like to. I think they probably had Christmases, but there wouldn't be as much meat on the table and as much celebrating to do because the men were off at war. Then the next one was Laurie Burt. Hi Laurie. An old friend did a house swap for vacation one year. My friend lived in Connecticut, where we have lots of hills and valleys. The other family's house was somewhere in the Midwest, where it is flat. Now, several of you told me that you live, this was referring to Norfolk, where I said we were saying it's very flat, and they were saying you want to come to the Midwest because it's flat there. And she said when they talked to each other later about how they liked their vacations, my friend said it was nice, but it was so flat there was nothing to see. And the other guy said it was nice, but there were so many hills we couldn't see anything. So you see, you get used to being in your own area, don't you? You get used to what you see around you. Those were my latest comments from you lot, from all you viewers. If you're new to my website, don't forget to subscribe, and then don't forget to ring the bell. Yes, so there you go. That was a vlog answering all your questions. Oh, before I go, scarf. This scarf is the one that I've made. I did a vlog about it and a lot of you liked it. It's just basically a rectangle of fabric with a buttonhole there. And what I do is I put it round my neck, and this corner, that corner there, and the buttonhole there, round my neck, and through. I push the corner through the buttonhole like that, pull it round, and there I've got a scarf. And that is a scarf that you've made out of a piece of spare fabric. So I'll put the link up there to show you how to make it. I mean, straightforward. You shouldn't need to look at a link, but there you go. I'll put a link up there. And that's it. So I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.